this. I'm the biggest slacker in school, dead last for 3, but secretly, for 13 exams in a row. I've been a genius who keeps his score at exactly 90. I just wanted to keep a low profile as a score control freak, but I didn't expect a surprise Math Olympiad. My math teacher is actually trying to expose me. Luo Li, you're at the bottom of the class every single time. You spend every day sleeping in class. Don't think that just because you barely passed before, you're anything. With this surprise math quiz, do you really think you can pass? I should be able to. You seem pretty confident, don't you? I'll give you a simple problem right now to test you. If you get it wrong, go stand in the hall as punishment. Fine. Let's hear the problem. Given that triangle ABC is an obtuse triangle, find the range of 2 cosine C / A plus 2 cosine C / B plus 2 cosine sine K. This was the final question from a previous national entrance exam. If a bottom-tier slacker like you could actually solve this, it would be as likely as our national soccer team winning the World Cup. Luo Li, this is a multiple-choice question. The 4 options are: no need, teacher. The answer is 90 to 270 degrees. What? Is this kid's brain a computer? He solved it before I even read the options. The whole class erupted in whispers. Even the top 3 students in the class were like tigers biting hedgehogs. They didn't even know where, yet Luo Li answered without even blinking. Teacher, did Luo Li get it right? Yes. Luo Li got it right. What? As soon as he said that, everyone was completely blown away. Fine, I'll count that as a lucky guess, but that doesn't mean you're allowed to sleep. However, if you can pass this exam, I won't care what you do in my class from now on. But if you fail, you must study seriously. No sleeping allowed except during breaks. Teacher, are you sure? If I pass this exam, you'll stop nagging me about sleeping in class? Absolutely. Then it's a deal. Are you kidding? The odds of you passing this math test are about the same as the men's national team winning the world. After all, the difficulty of these questions is straight up hell mode. Even our class monitor, Luo Li, who's always top of the class and top 10 in the grade, might not even pass. Let alone someone like you, Luo Li, who's always right on the edge of passing. The moment Su Yifei walked away, Luo Li went right back to snoring at his desk. Getting him to wake up and answer was absolutely impossible, because within the first 10 minutes, he had already finished and guaranteed a score of exactly 90. After all, he's a transmigrator. A year ago, Luo Li worked himself to death and died right over his key. He then transmigrated to this parallel world that's very similar to Earth. Using a super score control system, before every exam Luo Li takes, the system issues a task. He must hit the exact passing mark to earn academic model points and boost his own attributes. The points he earns can be used to level up his subjects or to draw for various rewards, like luxury villas, sports cars, yachts, even planes and rockets. Everything you could possibly imagine. But over the past, Luo Li has never used his points to enter the lottery. He spent them all on leveling up his subject proficiency. Teach, oh teach, with my level 9 math skills. Passing this exam is a piece of cake. Just get ready to lose. Luo Li, this is too much. Have you been secretly studying behind my back? No one in class could solve the problem the teacher gave. But you solved it without even blinking. You big dork. Did you put all your skill points into showing off your hidden talent? The teacher said. It was a simple question, yet you made it. So that the whole class was. Luo Li, you said you'd be able to pass today's test. Were you serious? Of course. You know I might not get high scores like you, but passing should be no problem. But didn't you find this test difficult? Here we go with the overachiever humble bragging again. My dear class monitor, is your definition of doing poorly getting a perfect score? Or maybe you just missed. Besides, the results aren't even out yet. I'm being serious this time. Today's surprise math test actually used mock questions from the National Math Olympiad. I doubt I even got 50 points, let alone a passing grade. And another thing, that problem the teacher gave you in class today. I racked my brain and couldn't solve it. Yet you. Wait, what? Today's surprise test was an Olympiad mock? Screwed. Something's about to go down. Principal, there really are hidden tigers in the mountains. And geniuses in our very own field. Luo Li can't hide his talent anymore. Luo Li ranked first in the class on yesterday's surprise test. Teacher Su, hasn't he always been dead last in the rankings? What's there to be so shocked about? Actually, Principal, he's first from the top, not first from the bottom. Are you kidding me? Yesterday's surprise test was a National Math Olympiad qualifier. With so many top students, there's no way it would be him. It's the truth. Since last semester, Luo Li has scored exactly 90 points in 12 consecutive exams without fail, ever, including this one. That makes 13. 13 consecutive exams with the exact same that's harder than winning the lottery, especially in this Math Olympiad mock exam. The top 3 students only managed 50 points, but he scored exactly 90, right on the passing line. Plus, today he was the first to answer that Gaokao question I posed, the final question of the national paper. What does that mean? You mean he's been controlling his scores all this time? For 13 consecutive, I perfectly kept my score at exactly 90. I wanted to keep a low profile as a score, but I didn't expect the math teacher's little scheme. A surprise Math Olympiad exam, where the top student class monitor only got, and the school beauty got, yet I crushed the 5 elite students to take first place. My score controlling was completely exposed. What? This was a National Math Olympiad selection paper. Someone actually got a 90? Teacher, who is it? It has to be our class monitor, Luo Li. She was only 2 points away from a perfect score last time. I wouldn't be so sure. Maybe it's Zhang Zhichuang, one of the top 3. No need to guess. The person who took first place is a dark horse who came out of nowhere. It's Luo Li. What? Teacher, you must be mistaken. Luo Li, if that kid can keep his eyes open for 10 minutes in class, I'll eat my hat. How could he be first? There's no mistake. The top scorer is indeed Luo Li. The moment he said that, it in an uproar. Now, don't be too surprised. Luo Li works very hard. We've all seen his effort. I specifically asked him to because I wanted to give him the praise he deserves. With those words, Luo Li was instantly thrust into the spotlight. Works hard. He's either sleeping or reading novels all day. Hardworking, my ass. Oh, teach. This isn't praise. You're putting me on the hot seat. I'll show you, kid. Let's see how you try to hide now. Alright, that's all for today's class. Luo Li, I only got a 30. But you actually got a 90. Spill it. Are you some kind of secret genius? I'm no genius. I just happened to have seen these questions before. It was just pure luck. I knew it. How could someone who usually just barely thought suddenly take first place in the class? So you've done them before. How is that any different from cheating with the answers? Zhang Zhichuang, who the hell do you think you are? Luo Li earned that top spot with his own hard work. How could you call that cheating? If you're so capable, why don't you try getting a 90? What? Am I wrong? Knowing the answers. Thought beforehand is the definition. If you ask me, since you'd seen the questions and knew the answers. You should have gotten a perfect score. Instead, you only managed to scrape by with that. A loser will always be a loser. You'll never be a top student. Aren't you being a bit too jealous? I said I'd seen those questions before to be modest. But being modest doesn't mean I'm a pushover. You'd better shut your damn mouth. If you can't, I don't mind helping you shut it. Let's go. Why waste your breath on some— He's trash. Just then, got a beautiful girl walked up to Luo Li. This last problem. I filled 3 pages with calculations and could you explain it to me? Oh, class monitor? You're so good at math. You shouldn't need to ask me. Besides, everyone thinks I cheated. There's no way you cheated. The problems on this mock exam were incredibly complex. The logic is like a maze. It requires incredibly sharp analytical skills. Especially that last problem. Without real skill, you wouldn't even be able to memorize the steps if you had the answer, so cheating would be pointless. An expert sees the skill, while an amateur— Luo Li, it's easy to fool the others. But you can't fool someone like Gong Buiyue, who lives in— Students, this was a tough one. It's rare to see even our class mock. Since you know the answer, why not be a sport and explain it to him? What's the matter? Are you unwilling to teach, or are you afraid that if you do, I'll beat you again on the next exam? Sigh, I guess there's no avoiding this. Actually, this problem is quite simple. First, let Rx equal y. Then x superscript 2 plus 3x must be a perfect square. So x superscript 2 plus 3x. And x superscript 2 plus 4x, with clear logic and seamless in just a few moments, he had calculated the final answer. Everyone watching was completely stunned. Luo Li, your analytical skills are incredible. That was clearer than the teacher's explanation. Thank you, Luo Li. The teacher went over this problem, but I still didn't quite get it. Can you teach me too? Suddenly, Luo Li was the star of the class. A crowd quickly gathered around, mobbing him from all sides. Must be nice being surrounded by so many girls. You're sweeping them all off their feet. You're not leaving any for your bro. Out of all 21 science classes in the grade, you guys actually managed to rank dead last. With results like these, if I were in your shoes, I'd have crawled into a hole out of shame long ago. Fortunately, Luo Li's grades are stable. She's ranked 1st in the class, and 79th in the entire grade. Otherwise, I would have ended up in the hospital today. Luo Li. What are you two whispering about back there? Stand up, both of you. Unbelievable. On a test of this level, one gets a 3 and the other a 2. How do you still have the nerve to show your faces in this classroom? Mr. Chen is being so kind today. He knows we're tired of sitting, so he's letting us go out for a walk. Yeah, it's the first time I've heard him make such a request. What a great teacher. Get back here. When did I give you permission to leave? Just now. I said that's enough. Get back to your seats. That scared the life out, as expected of the 2 worst students in class. Haven't these 2 always got pretty decent EQ? What's wrong with them today? It's been 3. Even a pig would have learned linear motion after 3 years. Forget it. I've taught you for thought and you still can't even calculate free fall. Teacher, I really do pay attention in class. I just can't solve the problems. There's nothing I can do. Besides, the only reason Fumu gets good grades, is because he transferred from the elite class. We've been in your class this whole time. Since we turned out like this, you're the one who should be embarrassed. Fine. You've got quite the mouth on you now. Just then, a system notification rang in Luo Li's ear. System task issued. Mission, amaze everyone in physics class. Reward for completion, 1. Lucky draw. Wait, didn't you tell me to hide my strength and keep a low pro? System, what are you trying to pull now? Teacher? I know how to do free fall now. The moment Luo Li said that, Fatty Wang was stunned. Damn it, Luo Li. We agreed we'd go find manual labor jobs together. I can't believe you've been studying behind my back. Did he finally snap? How can he talk such nonsense? Is that so? Then let me give you a prop. If you solve it, I'll let today's incident slide. Sure thing, teacher. You said it. Give me the problem. This loser really doesn't know his own limits. A plane flies at a constant speed over a student's head. When he hears the sound of the engine, coming from directly above him, he sees the plane at a 0.60-degree angle from the. Based on this, estimate the approximate speed of the plane. Teacher Chin really isn't playing by the book. What happened to the free fall we were promised? In an instant, every eye in the classroom was on Luo Li. Sir, using the 60-degree angle between the plane and the and a speed of sound of 340 meters per second, with tan 60, we can calculate the plane speed as 110 meters per second. What? A problem that even the class monitor and the study rep couldn't solve. He just answered it like that? This can't be real. It must be a fluke. Luo Li, do you dare to take another question? Why not? Give me your best shot, sir. A particle is moving with uniform acceleration, using a camera fixed to the ground to take strobe photographs. The data from the photos shows that during the interval between the first and second flashes, it moved 2 meters. During the interval between the and fourth flashes, it moved 8 meters. What parameters can be determined? I'll give you 5 minutes to think about this. That won't be necessary. We can find the position of the particle between the second and third flashes. The answer is 5 meters. He solved it the second he saw it. This is unbelievable. Once again, the stubborn old physics teacher was stunned. All sorts of theories began to race through his mind. No, stay calm. I'll test him one more time. If he gets this one right too, then he really is a genius. Luo Li, a bear falls from a height of 20 meters. It takes 2 seconds to hit the ground. What color is the bear? What kind of question is that? That's way beyond the syllabus. It makes no sense at all. The teacher is being difficult on purpose. No, he's picking on Luo Li specifically. There's no way to even solve this. I have to say, the whole class was completely baffled by this question. Many students began whispering, wondering what the given conditions had to do with a bear's color. They couldn't find a way to solve it at all. No matter how smart a student is, they won't get past me. In 20 years of teaching, not a single student has answered this correctly. But just at that moment, teacher, the bear is white. As soon as he said that, the entire room erupted. Luo Li, I think brown is more likely. Don't people always call them brown bears? Cut it out, you idiot. Shut up, Luo Li. If you say white, then I say it's black. You're just making a wild guess to try and get away with it. Yeah, just give it a rest. How exactly do you prove that it's white? If you're so smart, show us your work. You guys are truly ignorant. This question tests the relationship between gravity and latitude. H equals 1/2 gt squared. The given height is 20 meters. And the time t is 2. From this, we can calculate the gravitational 10 meters per second squared. Normally, for ease of calculation, we use the equatorial gravitational acceleration of 9 seconds squared as the standard. But in this problem, the gravitational x is 10 meters per second squared. From this, the bear must be at the poles, where latitude is highest. Since there are no bears in the Antarctic, it can only be a polar bear. Polar bears are white. Therefore, the answer is white. As Luo Li effortlessly explained his reasoning, the classroom became so quiet you could hear it. The way everyone looked at Luo Li had completely changed. Meanwhile, Teacher Chun stood there, looking completely stunned. Luo Li, who was supposed to be useless except for his good look, actually knows how to solve physics problems. He even solved a problem that the entire class was clueless about. Does this mean the national soccer team is actually going to win the championship this year? Luo Li, tell me the truth. How did you learn physics? Teacher Sue, have you lost your mind? You're actually letting Luo Li enter the Math Olympiad? He's a physics genius, not a math genius. From now on, Luo Li should focus solely on physics. Otherwise, you'll be the one responsible for ruining a physics prodigy. You're the one who's crazy. Luo Li isn't just a physics genius. He's a math genius, too. In fact, he's top tier in every other subject as well. How is that? How can he be a physics genius and a math genius at the same time? To tell you the truth, Luo Li has been hiding his true potential. He performed averagely in every subject and every exam. His scores were always right at the pass, but he was actually controlling his grades. And his math talent is definitely his strongest suit. No wonder his physics grades were mediocre before. Yet he suddenly soared to the top today. He was hiding his strength all along. Wait, Ms. Su, you said his math talent is #1? That's nonsense. His physics talent is clearly superior. You're the one talking nonsense. Luo Li is best at math. He's best at physics. While the two were arguing, Luo Li walked in. Teachers, what are you doing? You have the nerve to ask? Math, physics, is there anything you are good at? You have to give us an explanation today. Teachers, what do you mean by good or not? I don't understand. Still not coming clean? You're clearly brilliant in every subject. Why do you manipulate your scores in every exam? Did they find out I was controlling my scores? Teacher, what are you talking about? I really don't know what score manipulation means. You're being quite stubborn. You won't admit it until you're caught red-handed. I've already compared all your exam results for every subject over the past year. Once or twice could be a coincidence, but how can it be a coincidence over a dozen times? Ms. Su, don't be angry. Luo Li must have his reasons for keeping it a secret. Luo Li, it's just us here. We all know you've been holding back on your scores. Why keep up the act? Do you take me for a fool? One plays the good cop, the other plays the bad cop. No one would believe you didn't plan this together. Luo Li, you're a genius. There's no doubt about that. You don't want the spotlight, so you manipulate your test scores. That's understandable, but I'd prefer it if you showed off a bit more. Have some pride, like today in my physics class. That was excellent. It was truly exhilarating. Are they trying to triple team me? I'm just not going to say I'll stay firm no matter what they throw at me. Luo Li, I won't beat around the bush, whether you admit to sandbagging or not. I know you're a math whiz. For next month's Math Olympiad, bringing home a national first prize shouldn't be a problem, right? You'll also need to enter the physics competition. Based on your performance in class today, a national prize is well within reach. I'm not asking for much. After all, there's no Chinese. However, next week is the first monthly exam for seniors. I want you to rank first in the entire... That's not too much to ask, is it? National Math Prize, National Physics Prize, and first place in the school. Are they trying to kill me? Besides, ranking first isn't up to me. Depends on the system. Mood. Teachers, don't get your hopes up. I'm really just a mediocre student. What if I blow the exam? With your level, ranking first is a piece of cake. Unless you plan to sandbag on purpose again. If you do that, don't blame me for making your life miserable. You like sleeping in class, don't you? Believe it or not, from now, I'll have every teacher call on you specifically in class. Let's see if you can get a wink of sleep then. Teacher, it's not cool to use my sleep to blackmail me. We had an agreement. You can't go back on your word. Oh, I'm going back on it. Everything depends on your performance in next week's exam. If you don't satisfy me, I'll have every teacher single you out. If that still doesn't work, then I'll just have to pay your parents a visit. I'd rather not use my trump card. After all, I don't want to bother them. As a homeroom teacher, Lu Yifei wasn't just a sore loser. She was breaking her promise and even threatening a home visit. If losing sleep was Luo Li's Achilles heel, then a home visit was his ultimate This was a total low blow. Meanwhile, Zhao Hongwei and Shen Tianyuan were already starting to imagine Luo Li crushing the competition and stealing the spotlight. Why haven't you gone home yet? I was waiting for you. Next time, just go ahead. Luo Li had two best friends, and the other was Su Renjiying. According to the memories Luo Li gained after transmigrating, he had actually known Su Renjiying much longer than he'd known Fatty Wang. Luo Li, I'll come find you tomorrow morning. It's the weekend. Why are you looking for? I need you to tutor me. You're a top student. Why do you need? So what if I'm a top student? Now you're not just a genius, you're a study god. I need to learn from you. But I just want to sleep. I don't care. You're my best friend. I've been crushed by Gumu Yue for 3 years. I'm desperate. Now that you're a pro at math and physics, you have to help me beat her. Can I say no? Nope. I finally get a weekend to sleep in. But now I'm being exploited by Su Renjiying. Life is just one struggle after another. Just let me sleep. Sleep all you want, as long as you get first place in the school tomorrow. I won't care even if you sleep your life away. You won't get the key that way. Class, tomorrow we will have our first monthly exam of the semester. Even though it's just a monthly exam, it is extremely important. Instantly, every single person in the room straightened up and listened intently. Even the slackers in the back row stopped their horsing around, but as the king of napping and the king of eating, Luo Li was fast asleep without a care in the world. If it were anyone else, Lu Yifei would have already used her flicker strike, the upgraded universe blast, or her 9-chain lightning, the move. What is this? We study our hearts out while he just sleeps and sleeps. He's such a total slacker. Yet his grades are still so good. God, why don't you just strike him down? Homeroom teacher Lu Yifei, English teacher. Wait, chemistry teacher the Reaper Wang, and biology teacher the Crusher. Aren't you all usually heartless? It's understandable that Mr. Chan and Mr. Xie don't mind, since Luo Li is brilliant in their 2 subjects. But what about the other classes? He's pretty average in Chinese, chemistry, and biology, isn't he? Does being handsome really mean you can do whatever you want? Especially Xiao Lidong. Focus on the lecture. Stop stealing glances at Luo Li every 5 seconds. Except for Su Renjiying and Fatty. The rest of the class was feeling very bitter. Luo Li, tomorrow's exam will show the whole class that I'm the real physics rep. I'm the strongest when it comes to physics. Are you sick? That came out of nowhere. Luo Li, I may not be as talented as you in math. After all, I've never even seen you open a book. Yet you still took first place, but just like Zhang Zhichuang. I'm definitely going to beat you in tomorrow's exam. I'm the one who's best at math. I'm Luo Lin, the language rep. I'm second to none in foreign languages. We are clearly the top students in every subject. We're the ones the teachers value most. How dare you steal our spotlight? How could we be surpassed by this sleepy king? We're settling this once and for all in tomorrow's exam. Let's see who's really on. In an instant, Luo Li was swamped by the crowd. Everyone was talking trash. Are they out of their— You want to beat me at this? And you want to beat me at that? They must be bored out of their minds. Wouldn't it be better to just head to the cafeteria and eat? Man, these people are too much. Luo Li, you can't hold back in tomorrow's exam. You have to take them down a peg. Crush their egos. Take them down a peg, crush their ego. Easier said than done. It's not like Luo Li can control it. If the system limits my score to the passing line, I can't just get a perfect score to save face. It's a thankless task. Got to show off, but get 0 system points. Luo Li isn't going to do that. What? Lu Yifei is proctoring? She'll be watching me like a hawk. How am I supposed to control my— How can I hold back? Am I really going to have to exert myself for nothing? But in the next second, Luo Li was stunned. A system mission finally arrived, but it was a far cry from the usual. Barely. This time, for the Chinese exam. The goal was to score a perfect 150. 150 points? Well, since the system is demanding, then I won't hold back anymore. I'll take this chance to shut those big talkers up. The exam papers were soon handed, while others were still writing their names. Luo Li was already flying through the questions. From multiple choice to poetry appreciation, from classical Chinese analysis to reading comprehension, he knew the answers with just a single glance. He didn't even need to think. So fast, doesn't he even need to stop and think? Or is this exam just too easy? I got to see for myself how simple these questions, driven by curiosity. Lu Yifei picked up a blank copy of the test, the multiple choice and poetry sections at the start. As long as you have a solid, they're basically 3 points. But as she read on, Lu Yifei was stunned. Who on earth wrote these questions? Are you sure these are meant for students? The paper starts off easy enough. Making the poetry analysis a bit harder is understandable, but what the hell is this classical Chinese section? Is this really the text they chose for us? A bunch of homophones all crammed together. Who could possibly know what this means? I can't even understand the prompt to discuss the text. How is anyone supposed to understand it? The person who wrote this should be struck by lightning. Is this even meant for humans? Screw this bullshit exam. I'm done. Student, the exam is still in progress. Please return to your seat. You cannot turn in your paper until the last 15 minutes. You are not allowed to leave the room. Otherwise, you'll receive a 0. Fine, give me a 0. I already threw my paper away. To hell with this. The classroom instantly erupted. The students were having total meltdowns over the test. The college entrance exam is right. Are you trying to crush my students' confidence? What is the meaning of this? Ms. Lu, please, calm down. Our school didn't write these questions. They came from the city level. On the surface, it's just a monthly exam. But it's actually a citywide joint mock exam. I've already contacted the city's test design committee. What's the point of saying that now? The person who wrote that, did they do it on purpose to break the students? Their intentions are absolutely malicious. Ms. Lu, please don't be so upset. Go back and calm your students down first. I'll let you know as soon as I hear anything. Though Lu Yifei was fuming and bewildered, all she could do now was go and comfort her students. But no matter how he tried to once you've lost your cool, there's no— especially when someone else takes the lead. Several more students tore up their papers and stormed out. Well, let them go. You can't exactly force them to stay. I wonder how Luo Li is faring. Meanwhile, Luo Li had breezed through the exam, all the way to the essay section. By then, Lu Yifei had quietly approached him. Her curiosity piqued. What? This can't be. Is that— Luo Li is actually writing his essay in classical Chinese. How is this even possible? Luo Li was so focused on his writing that he didn't even notice Lu Yifei standing frozen behind. It wasn't until he finished the final paragraph. I knew not that Yunshan possessed such integrity. That such a man of honor should perish by my hand. That how can I face the world ever again? Later, Sun Quan issued ordering a grand burial for Guan Yu, his son, and the red hair. I'm a graduate of a prestigious university with a master's degree. I've written my fair share of great essays. But compared to Luo Li, this is quite a blow to my ego. He's an absolute monster. Finally finished. That took at least 30% of my effort. I hope this doesn't shock people too much. Then again, this test was just too easy. I'm sure plenty of people will get a perfect score. Luo Li, are you finished? I'm all done, teacher. When did you get here? Even if you're done, you should double check. What if you made a careless mistake? No need for that. How could I possibly get such easy questions wrong? Don't worry, teacher. I didn't hold back this time. How could I get such easy questions wrong? Listen to him. Is he even— Everyone else in the room is struggling to even think. Yet he calls it easy. And it wasn't just Lu Yifei and the other students in the classroom. Thought nearly spat out a mouthful of blood in shock. Great Luo, please, put away your divine powers. Our poor hearts can't take this anymore. My senior hasn't even finished the literature or classical Chinese, and he hasn't even started the essay. Yet this guy is already finished with everything? How did he manage to get that kind of hand speed? Luo Li, even though you've finished. Don't you can't hand in your paper until the time is up. Otherwise, you'll be given a 0. Luo Li didn't react immediately when he heard this. Usually, during these exams, he'd be out for the count within 10 minutes, and then sleep soundly until the end. But today, for once, the system wanted him to get a perfect. He even went out of his way to write the essay in classical Chinese. It took quite a bit of effort. He thought the exam was finally over. But it turned out it wasn't. I can't hand it in yet? Time is moving way too slowly. Is this the treatment a super genius gets? This exam was incredibly difficult, but yet not only did he finish 30 minutes early, but he's even allowed to sleep at his, and the proctor doesn't even care. Who the hell is this guy? Could he be the school's most legendary student? The genius among geniuses, Lin Feng, but Lin Feng shouldn't be this handsome. His Chinese level is insane. He's definitely on par with Lin Feng, and he's so good looking. He even puts the top idols to shame. The proctor called his name twice earlier. I think his name was Luo something. This Chinese exam was way too hard. I didn't know how to do any of it. Me neither. I couldn't understand the classical Chinese at all, and I didn't even finish the essay. Just those 2 sections alone are worth at least 60 points. There's no way I'm passing. No way. You've always been great at Chinese. You're top 3 in the class and you can't pass? Are you putting on a show? Stop with the humble bragging. Forget about me being top 3. Even the student in first place might not pass this one. In our exam room, there were even several people. The exam is only, and people are already giving up, and looks like everyone bombed the Chinese exam. That's not necessarily true. There was a total pro in our room who finished the poetry appreciation. And all the classical Chinese section. What? No way. I can believe the poetry part. But that classical Chinese, even with my 18 years of Chinese, I couldn't understand it. How could anyone finish it? It's true. He actually did it. And his speed was insane. With 40 or 50 minutes left in the exam, he finished his essay and tried to hand it in. It totally shocked everyone. In the end, he couldn't leave because of the rules. So he just slept on his desk for half an hour. The person you're talking about, is it Lin Feng, the legendary top student? No, it wasn't Lin Feng. I think his name was Luo Li. Lots of people were talking about the exam on the way out. Many were complaining about how difficult it was. There were always 1 or 2 students from class 4 who would mention Luo Li. When Zhang Zhishuang and the others heard Luo Li's name, their faces instantly changed. How did Luo Li really do that well? This Chinese exam was like a trial from hell. The entire room I proctored was wiped out. I looked through all the paper, and not a single student could crack that classical Chinese text. We have nearly 1,000 seniors in this school. Is it possible there really isn't even one who could solve that classical Chinese section? Forget the students, even for that classical Chinese text, us veteran teachers were just staring at each other, completely stumped. It's fine if the students fail, but the point is, we couldn't even figure it out ourselves. How are we going to show our faces after this? I'll bet you. I don't know about other schools, but in ours, at least, it's impossible for any student to have finished it. If someone did, I'll literally take them as my master. Stop complaining. The exam may have come from the city, but it was actually written by teachers from high schools number 1 and number 2. I heard students from schools 1 and 2 solve the classical Chinese section. So, it's impossible that the questions were flawed. We can only blame our own school's lack of talent. From now on, everyone needs to work harder. We must strive to produce more top-tier students. We can't let those other schools look down on us. Group leader phone, fellow teachers. Actually, it wasn't a total washout for us. In my exam room, there was a student. The classical Chinese section. They didn't even skip the poetry analysis. The moment she said that, everyone who had been looking dejected and defeated. They all turned their incredulous gazes toward Luo Fei. Ms. Lu, you've got to be kidding. Even the school's top student, Lin Feng, was stumped. He couldn't even make a dent in it. Which hidden genius are you talking about? Come on, stop messing with us. It's impossible for any of our students to have solved it. If someone really did, I'll take them as my master right now. Does that mean I'm gaining a grand disciple today? As soon as she said, everyone's expression shifted. After all, the one who made that bold claim was Mr. Tang Wanggui, also known as Tang III. With 20 years of teaching, he's a highly respected, while Luo Fei is just a junior teacher. Yet here she was, about to take a senior as her. Ms. Lu, Mr. Tang was just venting his frustration. Don't add fuel to the fire. I'm sorry, everyone, but someone in my class really did solve it. And I've double-checked the answers. The accuracy is 100%. Ms. Lu, was it Gu Muyu from your class? Zhang Zhichong? Or Su? It wasn't any of them. The student's name is Luo Li. What? Everyone was completely stunned. It was as if someone just said the village idiot got into an Ivy League school. The level of absurdity was off the chart. Luo Li? You mean that slacker who barely manages to pass? Luo Li? Listen, everyone, Luo Li might not have stood out in the past, but that doesn't mean he lacks the ability. This time, he not only aced the poetry and the classical Chinese sections, but he even wrote his essay in classical Chinese. What? An essay in class? That's impossible. Even for us writing an essay in classical Chinese is a struggle, let alone an academic loser like him who barely even passes. Seeing is believing. Find his paper and see for yourselves. Classical Chinese. The group hurriedly dug out Luo Li's paper. When they saw the title, The Death of Chitu, they were stunned. The content left them petrified, the theme was precise, the vocabulary sophisticated, and even the punctuation. Old Tang's face turned green on the spot. After all, he had just bragged about becoming. It really is a classical Chinese essay. This is simply incredible. The son of Chitu. What an intriguing type. This classical prose is fast, the theme is perfect, and the flow is seamless. Needless to say, this student, Luo Li, is a genius among geniuses. The ultimate top student. While the teachers were still in shock, the rest of the campus was buzzing with gossip. After the senior Chinese exam, everyone began to see Luo Li as a super scholar, the kind who could rival the legendary top student, Ling. Even the school heartthrob, Yi Zhiqiu, heard the rumors. Not only was Luo Li a genius, but he was also supposedly more handsome than him. He immediately declared he wanted a show. However, Luo Li, the man of the hour, had no idea. Soon, the second exam, math, officially began. The moment the papers were handed out, the system's voice chimed in again. Please score a perfect 150 on this math exam. As expected, this system has gone completely rogue. It's determined to make me a sensation. Well, since I already got a perfect score, another one in math won't hurt. Luo Li looked completely relaxed and began answering the questions at lightning speed. Less than 10 minutes into the exam, he finished the entire math paper in one go. Claiming it was 100% correct, Lu Yifei picked up the paper. Her eyes nearly popped out of her head. On the answer sheet for the final bonus question, God had not only written 3 different, but even added a note, out of space. The exam only started 15 minutes ago. This kid finished the whole paper already? What kind of blistering speed is that? Especially since for this monthly exam, the final question is as difficult as one from the Math Olympiad. This kid is a total freak of nature. Luo Li, it's Luo Li again. It's one thing to ace Chinese and math, but now, even the science comprehensive, covering physics, chemistry, and biology, he finished in just 40 minutes. And here I am, looking like a total clown. With 15 minutes left in the science comprehensive exam, Luo Li swaggered out of the exam room. Unexpectedly, he ran straight to the deadly Wang. There are still 15 minutes left. What are you doing out here? I finished a long time ago. I'm turning it in early, and I guarantee a perfect score. Kid, you're really full of it. Even Ling Feng in my room wouldn't dare claim a perfect score. You've got a lot of nerve. Mind your own business. Arrogant. Pure arrogant. Did you hear what he said? A perfect science score? Not even Ling Feng. Who does he think he is? Old Wang. In the last math exam, he turned it in after only 10 minutes. He's basically a legendary super scholar now. Have you lost your mind? A slacker like him, a super scholar? Turning it in early doesn't mean his grades will be any good. Don't be so just wait until the results come out. I guarantee he'll blow your mind. I heard that for your Chinese. You finished and left 50 minutes early. Math was even faster. Only about 15 minutes, and now you're claiming a perfect score in unbelievable. What does this have to do with you? Of course it does. The whole school's been calling you a dark horse lately, saying you'll surpass me. I didn't care at first, but since we've crossed paths today, and the science comprehensive is over, how about we compare answers? I want to see if you're the real deal, or just a fluke. Compare answers with who do you think you are? Are you even worthy? Those words were like a slap in the face to Lin Feng. He was the star student of number 3 high. In every exam, he topped the charts in every single subject. This was the first time he'd offered to compare answers with Luo Li, only to be flat out rejected. Having been on top for 3 years, he'd never been so humiliated. Don't get cocky, Luo Li. The results will be out by tomorrow. Then we'll see who's been faking it. Until then, I had hoped you'd be a worthy opponent. But clearly, you're not. Lin Feng glared at Luo Li with contempt. He brushed him off and turned to walk away, looking down his nose at everyone, like a pompous peacock. Kid, you really are incredibly arrogant. Even challenging the top student, Lin Feng? And who are you? Yi Zhiqiu. That's right, it's me. So, you've heard of me. In that case, I'll be blunt. Know your place. There are people out of your league. Don't even dream of getting close to them. Unbelievable. One after another, you come here to talk trash. If you're delusional, go see a doctor. Just then, someone beside Yi Zhiqiu let out a scoff. In an instant, Yi Zhiqiu was about to blow his top, but when he saw it was Su Renjiying, the rage on his instantly vanished into his trademark smile. Renjiying, what are you doing here? Have you eaten yet? If not, I'll take you to that new Shisha cuisine place, across from the school. Yi Zhiqiu, what are you doing here? I told you, don't call me Renjiying. We're not that close, and I'm definitely not going out to eat with you. Luo Li, the science comprehensive is hurry and check the answers with me. I want to see what my score will be this time. Luo Li couldn't say no to Su Renjiying and could only nod in agreement. It's too crowded here. Come on, let's go somewhere else. Luo Li, well played, Luo Li. A little toad relying on a surgically enhanced face. Not only did you steal my girl, but you're trying to steal my... I'll remember this. I will definitely get my revenge. Ugh, Luo Li, I shouldn't have checked the answers with, even though you tutored me in physics and helped me perform better than usual. I still got 3 questions wrong. Chemistry was even worse. I missed 5 questions. I even got 2 wrong in biology, the easiest subject. I totally blew the science comprehensive. There's no way I'll beat Gumul now. Scoring over 230 is already quite an achievement. With so many students in this, you're still better than at least 90% of them. You should learn to be content. I am content. As long as I can beat Gumul and prove I'm not just a pretty face, I'll be happy. I never even expected to beat you. No, I won't give up. We didn't have enough time before, so I couldn't absorb everything you taught me. That's why you have to keep tutoring me. Can I say no? I want to sleep. No way. 3 p.m. The 4th exam, foreign language, officially Luo Li sat in the exam hall, utterly exhausted. He looked like his soul had been drained after being worked for 7 days straight. Su Rinjing is truly insatiable. Your mission, get a 0 on the foreign language exam. What? Excuse me? A 0 on the foreign language exam? System, do you have a grudge? You let me score high on the first 3 exams. But now you want a 0 for the foreign language? Once these results come out, I'll definitely be drawing massive aggro. Foreign language teacher, I'm so sorry. So, Luo Li intentionally picked all the wrong answers. He didn't get a single word right in the fill-in-the-blank. As for the essay, he wrote it in ancient Greek. Even the foreign language teacher probably won't understand it. Luo Li, the monthly exams are over. Tell me, what do you think your total score will be? Probably around 600. Even if it's higher than yours, it won't be by much. 600 point? You managed to get 600 on such a difficult exam? I knew it. You were hiding your true strength. This is what you're really capable of. Starting today, I'll work twice as hard. But I'll definitely catch up to you by the next exam. Is this girl missing a few screws? Chinese, math, and science combined. Already add up to 600 points, no matter how bad the foreign language score is. There's no way it's a 0. Looks like your IQ is only a so-so. Next time, it won't be you catching up to Luo Li. It'll be me catching up to you. I don't need to say much about the results of this monthly exam. You all know how you performed. I'm truly ashamed of you. However, there is one thing worth celebrating. In this exam, our very own Luo Li got perfect scores. In Chinese, math, and science. He broke 3 school records in one go. What? Perfect scores in Chinese, math, and science? That's insane. Just looking at the poetry analysis and classical Chinese made my head spin. I can't believe Luo Li actually did it. Teacher. What was his foreign language score? It must have been a perfect score too. Stop guessing. Luo Li didn't get a perfect score in fact, he got a big fat 0. So, his total score is 600. Ranking him second in the entire. As soon as she said, the room is stunned once more. How is that even possible? In all 3 years of high school, no one in this class has ever gotten a 0 on the foreign language exam. Even the lowest scores were at least 10 or 20. Did Luo Li really hand in a blank paper? Quiet. He's the top student in the school, yet 602 points. That's exactly 2 points. Only 2 points? That is a surgical strike of an. He's clearly mocking Lin Feng for being a total joke. Alright, everyone, back to your self-study. Class monitor, keep everyone. Luo Li, come to the office with me. What do they want me in the office for? Someone who gets perfect scores in Chinese, math, and science couldn't possibly get a 0 in English, no matter how bad they are. He did it just to humiliate me. He intentionally got a 0 on the last exam. Lin Feng, don't get so worked up. Luo Li might be impressive, but his total score is still lower than yours. Luo Li, please, this is Mr. Wu, the head of the Chinese department. Mr. Liu, you've certainly raised a brilliant student. Luo Li, I actually have a favor to ask of you. I hope you won't mind giving us some guidance. What are they really up to? Mr. Wu, just tell the kid straight. He's just a student. There's no need for such formalities. Mr. Liu, you couldn't be more wrong. Luo Li may be young, but his mastery of the Chinese language is already on par with yours or mine. Mr. Wu, you're exaggerating. Just tell me what you need. Then I'll be direct with you. Luo Li, that essay you wrote in classical Chinese was brilliant. We've been studying it for hours, but we still can't quite grasp it. That's why we called you here. To see if you could translate and annotate it for us. Oh, is that all? Mr. Wu, you should have just said so. Minutes turned into more minutes. Until the end of the studies, Luo Li finally finished explaining the entire essay. He's even more of a handful than Mr. Liu. I shouldn't have drawn so much attention to myself. Now it's impossible to stay low-key. It's all thanks to that stupid Soon, word of Luo Li's performance spread throughout the entire even the cleaning lady couldn't help her when she saw him, saying, "Young man, I heard you aced those exams." The security guard nearby also gave him a big thumbs up. Way to go. The whole campus was buzzing with gossip. They were amazed by Luo Li's incredible skill, but also pitted poor Lin Feng. Some busybodies even cooked up a whole drama about the rivalry between the 2 top students and deep-seated. Meanwhile, as the hero of this story, Luo Li never gave Lin Feng a second thought. To be honest, I really didn't mean to embarrass him like that, and I certainly wasn't mocking him for being a fool. It was an accident. A total accident. Congratulations, host, for accurately completing the monthly exam task. Reward, physical fitness +6, subject fundamentals +1, subject potential +1, points +600. Given your excellent performance in the score control task, the system will reward you with an extra 400 points. Plus, a skill upgrade. Super memory and comprehension have been doubled. So that was the real prize. Luo Li, I never thought you'd go this far to get my attention. Getting a 0 on your English exam on purpose? Ms. Tang, that's a pretty wild theory. Still not going to admit it? Ding Yanzi already confessed everything. He got a 140 because he copied off your scratch paper. He even ranked first in the entire school for English. Who the hell is this Ding Yanzi? He copied my scratch paper and ranked first in the school? What, you don't know Ding Yanzi from class 301? His English grades are usually just average, but his performance this time was extraordinary. When I asked him to share how he improved so much, he got so nervous that he fainted. Once he woke up, he spilled the beans. He only took first place in the school because he copied the draft you threw away. You clearly knew how to solve yet you intentionally avoided every correct answer. If you weren't trying to get my attention, then you must have no respect for me as your teacher. Luo Li stood there speechless with his back turned, but in his head, he was cursing up a storm. That Ding Yanzi, it's one thing to copy my notes, but to go and confess everything afterward? Luo Li, let me, on the next exam, your score needs to reflect your actual ability. If you ever do this again, you'll have to deal with the consequences yourself. After getting a harsh lecture from the teachers, Luo Li headed back to class with his head. I can't believe you're such a creep. Actually trying to hit on Miss Tang. Now the whole school knows. I swear on my life, I only did it for fun. I just didn't want to get a perfect. It's all a misunderstanding. Misunderstanding? Stop acting. Come with me for a second. Who knows what else this guy has been up to? He just got back and he's already being called away again. Luo Li, we won't beat around the bush. We called you here to see what you're truly capable of. To see what I'm capable. Didn't we just finish the monthly exams? The school wants you to participate in the upcoming math and physics Olympiads. Even though you aced math and science, to prove your true strength, the school needs to give you one more assessment. Oh, so that's it. I thought it was about the incident in English class. These are Math Olympiad problems I prepared. Why don't you try them right now? Teacher, aren't these a bit too easy? I spent a lot of effort finding these real competition questions. They're much harder than even the final questions on the college entrance exam. Aren't you being a bit overconfident? It's actually very... I knew the answer the moment I looked at it. Then tell me, what's the answer to this problem? Find the minimum distance from a lattice point where both coordinates are integer to the line y equals 5/3x plus 4/5. The answer is B. Wait, what? This is a Math Olympiad problem. You didn't even stop to think before calculating the answer in your head. Explain your process. Let the lattice point be m, n. Then the distance to the line. The minimum value is 34/85. So the answer is B. Teacher Ho, the math head, was in total disbelief. He immediately pointed to the second and third questions. Then the fourth. Luo Li solved them all in notes. Everyone else was completely stunned. Luo Li, you certainly live up to your reputation. You must join my Math Olympiad team. With your level of skill, you're guaranteed a provincial first prize and a spot in the summer camp. Then you'll get a national prize and join the national team. By then, you won't even need to be fast-tracked into top schools like Tsinghua or Peking. Hey, old Ho, what do you think you're doing? She hasn't even finished my physics competition paper yet. Why should Luo Li join your team? With math skills like hers, she's already guaranteed a spot through a wall. Why would she even bother with your physics class? That's not fair at all. What if Luo Li is even better at physics than math? Exactly. She should give chemistry a try, too. Suddenly, a fierce tug-of-war over. The teachers were arguing so loudly. It looked like they were about to come to blows. Teachers, please, continue your argument. My next class is starting, so I'll be heading out. Class? With your talent, why are you still going to class? As the head of the math department, and the lead for the Math Olympiad, I'll give you a pass. As long as you focus on your math studies. You don't have to attend any other classes. Immediately, the physics, chemistry, and biology departments refused to be out, all claiming they could offer the same deal. To fight over Luo Li, they nearly tore the roof off the academic affairs office. But just then, the system issued a new task. Host, please participate in math, physics, chemistry, and biology, all 4 competitions. This damn system is really something. Since you want me to take them all, I won't hold back. Teachers, have to argue. I've decided to enter all 4, math, physics, chemistry, and biology. What? You're entering all 4 competitions? That's 4 separate subjects. In the entire history of number 3 high, even the most legendary top students have only ever taken 2. Luo Li, you'd better think this through. We've arrived at number 1. Everyone, try to stay relaxed. Of course, some people better not hold back. Don't go scoring just a passing grade when you're capable of a 99. Teacher, we know Luo Li is amazing now. But you're being a bit too blunt. Exactly. What's so special? I'm going for a perfect score this time. Ling Fan silently clenched his fist. He was now burning with fighting spirit. After all, 3 years of hard work he didn't believe this upstart, Luo Li, could beat him again. Task. Please score exactly 88 in this Math Olympiad. 88 points? Oh, teach. It's not that I don't want a perfect score. It's that the system won't let me. You can't blame me for this. Targeting a score of 88 while finishing every question. I can't leave a single blank. The simplest way is to intentionally miss one fill in the blank. To lose 8 points, then get the first part of question 9 wrong for 4 points. Perfect. It's a plan. Given real numbers x and y, satisfy x superscript 2 plus 2y superscript 2 equals 1. Find the minimum value of 2x superscript 2 plus. These Math Olympiad questions are way too easy. Method 1. 9 square meters plus 3 square meters plus 6 greater than or equal to 2 plus 2 square root. For method 2, given the note, it can be reduced to an ellipse and a curve. Just prove that the two are tangent. To get the answer. With just a glance, Luo Li had already thought of 2 solutions. The first was the standard approach, simply transforming the equation, and solving for the minimum. The second required a shift in thinking, turning a function problem into a hyperbola, and circle tangents. In less than a minute, he had already reached the 8th fill-in-the-blank question. Students, you must remain in your seats. No bathroom breaks, unless you turn in your paper early. You can turn it in early? That's a pleasant surprise. Hey, didn't you hear me? You're not allowed to leave your seat. Teacher, I'm finished. I'm turning it in early. What nonsense, the exam just started. How could you be done? I hope you'll take responsibility for your grades. Even if the questions are hard, you shouldn't give up so soon. These questions are quite simple. I know the answers. I might not get a perfect score, but I won't be getting a 0 either. I should get at least an 87 or 88. What arrogance. Even though this is just the preliminary, the difficulty is quite high. Last year's first place but only scored an 87 or 88. Which school are you from? Jiangcheng number 3 high. Oh, from number 3. That explains it. Give me your paper. You can go. The proctor took the test paper, and gave it a dismissive glance, but then... What on earth is this speed? He even finished the final challenge question. Meanwhile, in exam room 1, Lin Feng was already drenched in sweat. He got stuck on the very first fill-in-the-blank question. In the end, it took him a full 10 minutes. To finally squeeze out an answer. I have to keep going. I must beat Luo Li. I'll prove that I'm the best student at number 3 high. The moment the exam ended, people were under the trees, crying their eyes out. The wailing was loud enough to wake the dead. Is it the end of the world? Why is everyone acting like it's a few? Luo Li was a bit dazed, by this shocking scene. Especially when, he spotted one of them. Lin Feng? Luo Li? What are you doing? I'm doomed. This is so embarrassing. I've been napping here for a while, just waiting for you guys to finish so we can head back. Then, you didn't take the exam? I did. I just turned my paper in early. I didn't get a perfect score, probably around an 87 or 88. You win this time. So stop crying. Wait, why is he crying even harder now? How bizarre. At that moment, Lin Feng's reputation as the school's top student for 3 years, completely crumbled. Even after everyone from number 3 high had gathered, he couldn't stop the tears. After the exam was over, to ensure fairness, all the lead teachers from nearby schools, were required to help grade the papers. This year's students aren't very impressed. I've graded so many papers, and not a single one is over 80. In fact, hardly any of them even passed. That's only natural. After all, the Math Olympiad is the ultimate litmus test. It's designed to separate the geniuses from the ordinary. Wait, something's not right with this paper. What do you mean? Did someone actually get a perfect score? Not a perfect score. They got an 88. An 88? That's excellent. My highest is and the only person to score over 80. Quick, look it up. What's the name of the top student? Which school are they from? Is there even a need to? If it's not Lu Fan from number 1, would it's Du Jia or Chu Yin from number 2 high? Actually, it's none of them. Mang Chuan. His name is Luo Li. He's from number 1 high has always taken the title. First place in the Math Olympiad. Who is this Luo Li? He was just a filler from number 3. Why only number 1 high? If number 2 high students can take first place, but why can't someone from number 3 high? No, that's not what we meant. But for this Luo Li to score 88 points, he must be a genius your school has been secretly grooming. I wouldn't go that far. He just did okay on last week's monthly exam. He got 600 points. Ranking second in the school. That's all. Second in the school, that's all? Listen to him. Does he even hear him? That's not right. You've all seen the final problem, right? Of course. It was a complex theoretical, extremely difficult. Did he make a mistake somewhere? He got it right. His logic was flawless. And his steps were clear. He even got the full 20 points. How is that possible, even if it's just a theoretical problem? Since it's the final question, the difficulty level is insane. In all previous years, no one has ever gotten a perfect score on it. Meanwhile, Luo Li, the person in question, couldn't care less about being first in the city. The only thing he's interested in, is the system reward for completing the mission. Congratulations, host, on completing the score control mission. Reward, physical fitness +1. Math Olympiad Foundation +1. Math Olympiad potential +100 points added. Before the dust from the Math Olympiad could even a new competition had already begun. Luo Li, for today's physics competition. Taking first place should be a breeze for you, right? Did you hear? That guy from number 3 National High is the son of a top scholar. He looks more like he's about to hit a wall. He only beat you by 4 points, anyway. The preliminaries were just a warm-up. The real battle hasn't even started yet. Please score exactly 88 points in this physics competition. 88 points again? Is the system going to make me score 88 in all 4 competitions? Luo Li pondered silently as he looked over the physics paper. 5 multiple choice questions at 6 points, totaling 30 points. 5 fill in the blank, totaling 30. 2 long-form questions at 20, totaling 40. And I need to control my score. The simplest way is to miss 1 multiple choice and 1 fill in the blank. A light spring with a spring constant of K is fixed to the ceiling at its upper end and connected to a small ball of mass M at its lower end. Taking the ball's equilibrium position O as the origin. Is a question this simple even necessary? And this is supposed to be for a competition? Without a second thought, Luo Li, then, in the blink of an eye, Luo Li breezed through the 5 multiple choice questions. To keep his score at 88, he had to erase the last multiple choice answer and intentionally fill in a wrong one. That takes care of the 12 points I need to lose. The 2 long-form questions at the back will be easy. A long rectangular plate sits at rest on a smooth horizontal surface. Its left end is connected to a horizontal light spring with a spring constant of K. The other end of the spring is fixed to a wall. A small block of mass M is placed on top of the plate. This question looks long, but it couldn't be simpler. It's just testing friction, simple harmonic motion, and conservation of energy. It's such a cliche. They've really made a mess of things. The sliding friction force on the plate is F equals mu n. The direction is to the right, according to Newton's second law. Without a single moment of hesitation, Luo Li breezed through the rest of the questions. Then, as expected, in the following chemistry Olympiad, less than 5 minutes after the exam, Luo Li strolled casually out of the classroom. Luo Li, you just went in. Why? Don't tell me you're forfeiting the exam. Please, go back in and finish it. I was counting on you to show them what we're made of. Who said I forfeited? I'm finished. I turned. What? It's only been a few minutes and you're already done? The moment the results were announced a few days later, every school was in an absolute in the national math, physics, and Luo Li took first place in all 3 with a score of 88. In less than half a day, Luo Li's reputation as the Triple Crown winner spread through every street and alley. After years of studying in obscurity, she became a household name overnight, and for today's biology Olympiad, a massive crowd had already gathered out. Luo Li was swarmed the moment she stepped out. Luo Li, the biology exam just started. Why are you out already? Was it too hard? Did you give up? Why would I give up on such easy questions? I finished everything and turned it in early. What? You're done. It's only been 5 minutes. Wait, it didn't even take that long. Sorry. I stopped to use the restroom before coming out, so that delayed me a bit. Then do you think you can take first place again? Just like in math, physics, and chemistry? I don't know if I'll take first. But an 88 should be enough to qualify. Right, another 88. Didn't you get 88 in physics and chemistry too? Why are they all the same? Is there a rule saying the scores can't be the same? If that's all, I'm leaving. I need to get back and catch up on some. This is the National Olympiad. Getting the same score in 4 subjects is harder than winning the lottery. If we rule out a fluke, then the only explanation left is Luo Li was actually manipulating his scores. This is insane. Winning first place in 4 competitions all at once. He's a quadruple champion. This is a first in the history of Jiang City. In previous years, these 4 competitions were always number 1 High's specialty. Having them snatched by number 3 High is a real slap in the face. Number 3 High has been in decline for years. How could one person possibly turn it around? I've already looked into it. In the last monthly, Luo Li really did only score 600 points. He was only ranked 2nd at number 3 High. At number 1 High, he wouldn't even make the top 15. He was over 70 points behind Lu Fan. So these competitions were just a stroke of luck. Luck, my foot. He did only score 600 on the last monthly exam. That was because he intentionally got a 0 in English. A genius who gets perfect scores in Chinese, math, chemistry, and even wins for competitions. Do you really think he's an idiot when it comes to English? Besides, have you ever heard of anyone getting a perfect score in Chinese? In that case, we must take him seriously. Our only option now is to win him over. I'm announcing right now, we must recruit this monstrous genius at all costs. Poach him for number 1 High. Principal, we have a prop number 1 High, number Chuying and Lanpu. Their directors and teachers they're all here to poach Luo Li. The security guards can't even stop them. What? It's only been a day and they're already here. How shameless. Since we can't stop, let's go and meet them. Ms. Su, go get Luo Li. Luo Li won first place in all 4 competitions. He has the potential to be the top scorer. He's the hope for number 3 High's comeback. But the people from number 1 High and number 2 High are in the conference room next door. Come in, come in. I didn't expect to be in such high demand. People from number 1 high, number 2 high, Chuyin, and Lamp are all here. Luo Li, I'm swallowing my pride to beg you. Number 3 high is your alma mater. It's your home. You absolutely cannot transfer and leave us behind. Principal, number 3 high is my home. I'm not going to transfer. Please rest assured. Luo Li. Thank you so much. Of course, the school won't let you walk away empty-handed. I've already discussed this with the other leaders. You've brought honor to our school. The school is giving you a 20,000 yuan reward, and will make up for your scholarships from the past 3 years. Once you get into a top-tier university, the school will give you another 100,000 as a one-time. We'll also take your photo and put it in the school's Hall of Fame. Principal, forget about the Hall of Fame. It's too flashy for my taste. As for the scholarships, just handle it as you see fit. If there's nothing else, I'm going back to sleep. Luo Li. Number 3 high will never forget your kindness. But wait a moment. The people from the other schools are in the next room. They said they won't leave until they see you. So, I'm sorry to trouble you. Fine, I'll see them. It's a good chance to make things clear, to avoid any more trouble. Luo Li then went to the conference room. When the teachers from the other schools saw, they immediately began showering him with praise. They offered him a series of generous terms. But Luo Li rejected every single one. Luo Li. I'm a professor of classical Chinese at Binhai University. That classical prose essay you wrote. The concept was truly exquisite. Even with all my years of study. I'm afraid I could never write something so brilliant. I just wrote that on a whim. It's not bad. But it's just average. Young man, you're far too modest. Professor Yuan, don't keep Luo Li all to yourself. Wait, don't forget about us. Luo Li. You must join number 1 high school. Not only can we offer you a massive scholarship, but we can also guarantee you a spot for early admission. Number 1 high is playing their trump card right for an ordinary high school student. A guaranteed admission spot is priceless. Most schools can't offer that at all. What? Just because number 1 high has a spot doesn't mean number 2 high doesn't. Luo Li. We specifically invited Professor Yuan here. If you join us, number 2 high can provide a recommendation letter. Signed by Professor Yuan himself. With that, any classical literature department in the country, tier Ivy League equivalent, will be yours for the choosing. I'm sorry, but I'm not interested in any of that. Save those spots for your own students. Besides, I've never even considered transferring. If there's nothing else, please leave. Don't disturb my studies. Everyone was stunned. They never expected Luo Li's refusal to be so blunt. After all, a guaranteed spot and a recommendation are golden tickets to the country's best. For a high schooler, money is easy to come by, but such an opportunity is impossible to find. How ungrateful. Since we can't win her over, we'll take Luo Li down at all costs. We must take first place in the provincial competition. At this moment, the top schools, number 1, were all in strange, unspoken agreement. They would crush number 3 high in the provincial competition. Luo Li, don't think you're so great. Just because you won the prelim, that was just the warm-up. In today's round, you're nothing but trash. A student from a dump like number 3 high could never hope to compete with us. Just you wait. What on earth did I do to them? Is all this resentment really necessary? You people. You're like a pack of rabid dogs, barking and biting at everyone you see. Keep it up, and I'll shut you up for good. Fatty, I'll handle my own business. You just focus on your exams. Wang Pengxi was reluctant to let it go, but the provincial PE exam was vital for him. He had no choice but to swallow his anger and leave. Luo Li, the exam is about to begin. The semifinals are different from the preliminary. They're divided into 3 rounds. All 3 rounds are scored out of 100, but the difficulty increases significantly. Each round is harder than the last. Anyone who fails the first round is eliminated immediately. The second round ranks you by your score. The third round is for the provincial first prize winners. To determine the final ranking, the top 30 will join the provincial team and qualify for the National Math Olympiad finals. Luo Li nodded and headed into the exam hall. System Mission 1 initiated. In the first round of the Math Olympiad semifinal, the host must score exactly 60 points. You stupid system. I was going for a perfect score, just to take Lu Fan and his crew down enough, but you want me to get a 60? That's just a bare passing grade. They're going to laugh their heads off at me. Luo Li was at a loss for words with this system. But a moment later. System Mission 2 initiate. In the second round of the semifinals, the host must score 88 points. In the third round, please score 99 points. Oh, you're a cheeky one, aren't you? Let Lu Fan and the others gloat in the first round, only to slap them in the face in the next 2. 8 fill in the blank question. 8 points each for 64 total. 2 long form, Q9 is 6, and Q10 is 20. To hit the simplest way is to get 5 fill in the blanks right, plus the final long form question. Alright, let's get to work. Question 1. Set A equals x, where x squared plus x minus 6 equals 0. 50 students performed physics and chemistry experiments. 40 did the physics experiment correctly, and 31 did the chemistry one correctly. If 4 students got both wrong, then the number who got both right is 25. For Luo Li. These questions were beyond simple. He finished them all in no time, carefully keeping his score right at the passing mark. This time, if I don't show you what's what, then I really would be a total pushover. Just you wait, boys. Luo Li, so this is where you've been sleeping. I've been looking everywhere for you. I heard you turned in your paper less than 10 minutes in. Are you sure you can get a perfect score? Teacher, would you hit me if I said I didn't? Luo Li, tell me, did you hold back your score again? Don't worry, teacher. I guarantee I'll make it to the second round. Sure enough, the moment the scores were posted, there was both joy and despair. How is this possible? I was in the same exam. I saw you leave after only a few minutes. I thought you forfeited. How did you actually get a 60? It's just a 60. Is that really worth being so? Didn't you walk out early and give up? That's right, I turned it in early. But who told you I was giving up? Also, on such an easy test, I thought you'd at least get a 100, but you only got an 8? That's hilarious. If you're that bad, you should go back and practice more. Kid, I thought you'd get a 0. I didn't expect you to scrape a 60. Whatever, it doesn't make a difference. You still lost to me anyway. Are you serious? You only got a 64 on such an easy test. Yet you're acting this arrogant? Didn't you see the crowd of people with 80s and 90s? There were even dozens of people who got a 100. If you were like them, not even a 100. But if you'd just gotten a 90, I might have respected. But you want to lecture me now? You're not worthy. Brat, don't get too cocky. Just wait until the second and third rounds. I'll beat. As expected, the second and third rounds of the exam. Luo Li finished and turned in his paper at lightning speed. The moment the results were announced, Luo Li was absolutely. I calculated everything perfectly. It was 100% supposed to be 99. How could I have guessed right and gotten a 100? At that moment, Luo Li was up. You see, the system's score control mission was to get exactly 99 points, even though it's only a 1-point difference. It meant he failed to control his score, and with a failed mission, his rewards and points would take a massive hit. Holy crap. That Luo Li guy from Jiang, he got a perfect score on the third round exam. That's unbelievable. He got a 66 in the first round, an 88 in the second round, and now a 100 in the hardest third round. Is he some kind of monster? The third round was insanely difficult. Especially that final challenge. It was supposed to be but he actually got it right. When did that ever produce such a legend? Luo Li, I thought you'd lose points in the third round as well. But you got a perfect score. The only perfect score in. Good job, kid. Teacher Ho, no. I don't want a perfect score. I refuse to I'm lodging a I demand a regrade. What? Are you so happy you've lost your mind? Are you crazy or just stupid, kid? You don't want a 1, you want a 99? Did you cheat or something? I didn't cheat. It's just that for the first part of the first essay question, I forgot to include the units, so I should have lost a point. 99 is the correct, please, regrade it. There's no need for a regrade. Whether it's a 99 or a 100. You're still the top student in this exam. No. He has to change it. I'll lose out big time if I can't complete the system mission. Sir, it's not about whether I'm in first place or not. It's about the rigor of mathematics. Even if it's just 1 dot or even half a point, it's simply unacceptable. I hope the judges can regrade my paper. Otherwise, you're just being too lenient with me. That might lead me to develop careless habits in the future. Well, when you put it that way, it sounds like I'm the one. But you're right. Mathematics is a very precise discipline. I'll fix the score for you then. As expected, the moment the teacher changed my score, the system notification finally popped up. Congratulations! You have completed the third round of the reward, +3 to physical fitness, +3 to Math Olympiad fund, +3 to Math Olympiad potential, +300 points. You have 12 draws remaining. It wasn't easy earning these draw points. Students, starting today, you are officially members of our provincial Math Olympiad team. You will be competing in the national finals next month. This concludes the Math Olympiad semifinals. Mr. Fong, I'd like to ask you about the solution to the final bonus question of the third round. I lost 20 points on that last question too. If something similar comes up in the finals, I'm toast. I won't be the one explaining. I'll let Luo Li from number 3 high school walk us through it. Why am I being dragged into this again? I just winged that question. It was pure dumb luck. There's no need for me to embarrass. Don't be so modest, Luo Li. We all know what you're capable of. Your approach to the last question was very innovative. It was actually more elegant than my own reference key. Why don't you share it to help broaden everyone's horizons? Sigh, looks like there's no way out of this. Alright, to avoid cutting into our lunch break, amidst the cheers of the crowd, Luo Li had no choice but a hunter and an invisible rabbit. Are playing a game on a Euclidean plane. Given that the rabbit's starting position A0 coincides with the hunter's starting position B0. After round N of the game, the rabbit is located at point A, and the hunter is located at point B. In the following round, the following 3 events occur in sequence. Is it true that no matter how the rabbit moves, or what points the tracking device reports, the hunter can always choose his moves accordingly, so that after 19 rounds, he can guarantee the distance between him and the rabbit is at most 100? This is the final Labasa question. As long as you have a basic grasp of equivalent transformations and extreme case analysis, the answer is quite obvious. First, let's assume this invisible rabbit has a magic and can manipulate the tracking device. Second, regarding the impact of, in certain circumstances, the hunter might experience a lapse in judgment. Luo Li breezed through the explanation in one go, but the students below were left completely bewildered. Don't tell me you guys didn't understand if you can't even follow a problem this simple. How did you even make it to the finals? You guys are way too slow. Luo Li. I actually didn't. Could you go over it one more time? A bit slower, please? Didn't you score a 90 in the third round? That means you got at least half the points for this question. I've already explained it in detail. How do you still not get it? Well, I used the method of exhaustion to solve it, but because the dataset was too large, I only listed a portion. But your equivalent representation is completely different. Since you are providing a formal proof, could you please explain it again? Fine, I'll go through it one last time. Analysis 1. Let's assume that after a certain round, the invisible rabbit is at point A, and the hunter is at point B. I'm sure you all follow so far, right? This problem is honestly as simple as it gets. The integer coordinates act like a cycle node. Starting from the node state, the invisible rabbit's path enters a loop. It's just like a reincarnation cycle in a novel or a game. If you still don't understand, then you're more than just a little slow. It seems the problem I've set is a bit too challenging for this. Luo Li, you may return to your seat now. Actually, there's a more conventional way to solve this. The enumeration method. Let me demonstrate it for you. Having just returned to his seat, Luo Li watched the teacher's solution and couldn't help but shake his head with a sigh. You can't keep going. If you continue, you'll run into an error. Did I get something wrong? I don't think I did. Starting from 101 times 1/10101, there's already a slight deviation. If you keep enumerating until 19, that deviation will be magnified beyond measure. If you don't believe me, try plugging in 1020 and 10,000. Then, work backward from there. You'll find that the initial values for the hunter and the invisible rabbit are completely different. Sure enough, following Luo Li's steps, the resulting initial values were indeed vastly different. The next half hour turned into another solo show for Luo Li. However, Luo Li was getting visibly frustrated during the process. That's enough. Are you sure you're high schoolers and not middle schoolers? Your lack of intelligence is genuinely concerning. My throat is parched and I'm starving. Goodbye. Actually, make that a see you never. Luo Li, you're finally out. I heard everything. You actually left the top geniuses from the 4 elite schools completely dumbfounded. Today, number 3 high has finally held its head high. From now on, those 4 elite schools are nothing but trash. Take it easy, teacher. It's time to eat. Eat? Order whatever you want. It's on me. What kind of insane luck does number 3 high have? They were on the verge of becoming a bottom-tier school. But then Luo Li appeared out of nowhere. Our number 1 high is doomed. 2 and 4 high, Chuying, and Lanpu were filled with mixed emotions. The principal of number 3 high was absolutely over the moon. Heaven truly hasn't forsaken number 3 high. Who would have thought? Not only did Luo Li win first in the province and make the, but he also swept the provincial champ. You're right, principal. With an ace like Luo Li in our hand, 3rd high's rise will be unstoppable. Luo Li, you finally showed your face. You took first place in the Math Olympiad last time, but now that there are 3 different science competitions, I absolutely won't lose to you again. I've been wondering, why are you all cut from the same cloth as Zhang Ji? Why are you all so incredibly full of your... You want to challenge me at my peak? You are not even in my league. Luo Li didn't even bother to acknowledge them. He just turned and strolled into the exam hall. That Luo Li. How dare he be so arrogant? In this physics competition, I'm going to take first place no matter what. And then I'll rub it right in his face. I actually had a bit of after he solved that final problem in the Math Olympiad. But now, just you wait and see. System, score control task issued. Physics semifinals round 1, score 60 points. Round 2, score 88 points. Round 3, score 99 points. Figures, this score control task is just like the one for the Math Olympiad. It's not a perfect score, but first place is already a sure thing. This is way too easy. It seems whether it's math or physics. These semifinals aren't challenging at all. I hope the finals are actually difficult. To complete the system task, Luo Li had to limit his score to exactly 60 points again. Less than 5 minutes after the exam began, he finished the entire physics paper and walked out. He's handing it in after only 5 minutes? Is he only good at math? And knows nothing about physics? Did he just give up on the exam? Filled with doubt, the proctor picked up Luo Li's paper to grade it. However, he was quickly shocked. What? Not only did he finish the entire paper in 5 minutes, and he scored exactly 60 points. This is simply unbelievable. The first round of the exam, the graders are working frantically to finish marking the papers. Look. The results are out. Luo Li is truly a legend. It's the same old recipe. It's the same familiar taste. Since he scored exactly 60 in this round, I'll bet 10 packs of spicy strips. Bet that he'll get exactly 88 in the second round, and 99 in the third round. Is there even a need to bet? It's 100% guaranteed. After all, he's a repeat offender when it comes to controlling. In the blink of an eye, the third round of the exam arrived. How can this be? These questions are way too hard. Did the teacher hand out the wrong exam? This is the final problem of this physics Olympiad. Unlike the 20-point finale in the Math Olympiad, the final problem in the physics competition is worth 25 points. Did that damn teacher Chu Jian do this on purpose? The difficulty of the third round finale is insane. It's practically a total wipeout for everyone, even students like Zhang Mei, and the top scholars from the 4 elite schools, are all completely stumped. On the other hand, when Luo Li received the paper, he had a look of utter disdain. In the classic hydrogen atom model, electrons orbit the nucleus in a circular motion. The centripetal force of the electron comes from the nuclear charge. This question is actually somewhat interesting, even though I haven't seen the Larmor formula before. The specific formula is provided. All the necessary data isn't this basically just giving away free points? As soon as Luo Li got the paper, his pen began to fly across problems. To ensure he scored exactly 99, Luo Li did some calculations and changed a small step in the second part of the final question. He changed radius 2 equals E to radius 2 equals EECD. In just 10 minutes. He had cleared every single question. His paper. At this, the proctor was stunned once again. You again? I even swapped the A-level paper for the S-level one. This difficulty is on par with the third round of the finals. It's only been 10 minutes since the exam started. You finished way too fast. Hearing the proctor's comment, Luo Li reflexively came up with an excuse. He immediately prepared to bolt. Sir, I ate something bad earlier and don't feel well. I need the restroom. So, see ya. Luo Li, was it? You might be good, kid. But our test committee is no pushover. Setting aside the earlier questions, the 25-point final problem alone is enough to stump 99.99% of the candidates. You only spent 10 minutes on this, even if you have the fastest hands in the world. At most, you'd only finish the easy 5-point questions. Though the proctor was shocked by Luo Li's speed, he remained confident in the difficulty of this physics exam. However, the very next second, how is this possible? In such a short amount of time, this kid actually got the final problem right. This was a challenge our entire committee spent so much time and effort to meticulously craft. The next day, many people skipped breakfast and rushed to the Binhai University conference hall, waiting for the round 3 physics results. The top students from the 4 all had solemn expressions on their faces. The moment the results were announced, everyone present was stunned. 100 points? A perfect score on such a difficult paper. It's him. It's him, Luo Li from Zhongcheng number 3. He actually got another perfect score. How can this be? Even with the god of exams on his side, this is impossible. This year's competition is far harder than previous ones. Especially that final problem. Even the top 8 students from the elite schools only scored between 86 and 90. But he got every single question right. The crowd erupted in an instant. Voices of praise and admiration, along with countless intense gazes, were all directed at Luo Li. Meanwhile, keeping a slight distance, while hovering around Luo Li, Fu Cabin, Zhang Meng, Su Yun and the other 7 prodigies were flushed with shame. But in the next second, Luo Li's words made them want to cry in despair. Teacher, I'd like to report an error on my paper. It shouldn't be 100. It should be a 90. Another incident at the physics competition. Luo Li from Shanzhong High reported himself again. Is that even an incident? He's just flexing in front of everyone. He's so calm, and this is the Olympic semifinals. Precise score control across 6 rounds. Both sets of scores were exactly the same. The 8 top prodigies from the 4 elite schools are nothing but amateurs compared to this kid. Just you wait. The upcoming chem and bio competitions will be even more interesting. Teacher, did you forget your glasses while grading? I wrote XB, but you read it at. I made such an obvious mistake. And you still gave me a perfect score? Kid, you're way too arrogant. I suspect you're just setting a trap to show off. Enough. I'll change it to a 99, alright? That's more like it. In the subsequent chem and bio competition, Luo Li followed the system's instructions again. And controlled his scores to 66.88 and 99. Since Luo Li had reported himself twice already, the grading teachers were so intent that they unanimously thought to just give him a 99 for the third round of those without a second thought. The competition was over, but the legend of Luo Li was just beginning. The 4 subjects, the score controlling, the god of flexing, these dramatic titles spread rapidly to every school in the region. Fu Kebang, one of the 8 top prodigies, but the moment he saw the final scores, collapsed and was rushed to the hospital. Luo Li, even though I lost in all 4 subjects, it doesn't mean I'll just give up. The semifinals are over, but the summer camp finals is the real battlefield. I'll see you in the finals. Luo Li, welcome back. Your title as a 4 competition official has brought great honor to our school. Since the founding of number 3 High, even at our peak 10 years ago, there was only ever one person who barely managed to make the provincial team. You are the undisputed pride of number 3 High, the star of exams, the king of competitions.